that's done. $3 a litre, but you know, I guess you've got to expect to pay those sort of prices. According to the GPS, it's 4 hours of travelling. From here I've got to transit through the Uluru National Park. You have to pay a fee normally to enter the park. Because I'm transiting through, just going to the border, they should just wave me through. We'll see how we go. I mean, I've got permits. You need permits to travel Great Central Road, and I've got both of the ones that I need. One for the Northern Territory side and one for the West Australian side. I should be on first name basis with the people at the toll booth because shit, I've been here often enough. See, here we go. G'day mate, I'm just transiting through to the border.
Have you got your CRC parking permit?
My permits, yes. Good on you mate. Yes, I do have my permits. Thank you for asking. That is a spectacular sight. Border. You would have heard me say it before several times, but yeah, between here and Laverton it's about 1200 kilometres of mostly unsealed stuff, although they are sealing more and more of it each year. Permit required to continue to WA. Yep. Other adventure riders. Hey boys, that's a big group. I've been to Lasseter's cave several times over the years, so I won't bother calling him there again, but in 25 words or less, Lasseter was out here looking for gold. He thought there was a big find to be made around here somewhere. He'd been here earlier. Anyway, his camels did a bolt. One night they did a runner with all his supplies on, so he took refuge. It's more of a depression than a cave, and he was there for a little while. Anyway, he was befriended by some Aboriginals. They kept him going for a few more days or weeks. In the end he decided to walk towards the Olgas to link up with the remainder of his party. He never made it, he perished. Well, this is the border crossing from the Northern Territory into Western Australia. No fanfare, of course. Outback Highway, Great Central Road. Now, Great Central Road on the WA side was closed up until about a week ago. They had some wild weather through here a couple of months ago. It just tore the roads up completely. So they closed it for a little while and made some temporary repairs, and of course those repairs continue even now. So yeah, welcome back to Western Australia, Stevie boy. Bit sandy there. Warakurna Roadhouse, this way. Warakurna's a Aboriginal settlement, but it's also where the Giles weather station is located. And I'm going to pull up here and camp here tonight. Oh, fix your bloody roads. Yeah, I wouldn't normally camp here, I'd normally bush camp along this stretch, but I need a Telstra signal this evening. There's a bloke who's going in the opposite direction. He's returning back to Brisbane along Great Central Road, and he's reached out to me and he said it'd be good if we could get together for a cup of coffee. Now, I don't exactly know where he is, so I've got to try and reach him later on today or this evening by phone or message to see if we can get together somewhere. So I'll stick some fuel in it. I'll book in. There's a campground just at the back here. It's not flash, but it'll do. $3.20 a litre. It just gets better. Would have thought it would have been a bit unusual having a chopper flying around. Don't know if they're searching for somebody. Flies are pretty friendly, but always travel with a fly net, and make sure it's handy, because you never know when you're going to need it. Alright, see you on the other side, eh? Alright, I've said goodbye to Alan. Nice to catch up. And he was able to give me some intel on some of the conditions. There's a couple of surprises in store, I think. He mentioned a patch of sand, deep sand, that caught a couple of riders off guard a couple of days ago, and both crashed heavily. And one had to be medevaced out by air, so that's not good. That's not good. So I've got that to look forward to. And he said there's a lot of roadworks going on. He copped a bit of rain coming out of Laverton, quite a bit of rain. That's why his bike was in such a state. But anyway, I can pin it back a little bit now if I want to. So yeah, I need to be mindful of the conditions. He hit the sand at speed before he realised it, but he did all the right things, stood up, went back, constant throttle, and he got out of it. I'll size it up when I get there. If need be, I'll just paddle through it. I don't want to become a headline. So yeah, today bush camp, I think somewhere this side of Laverton. I don't think I'll make Laverton. So yeah, bush camp, side of the road. Another stunning outback sky. Alright, see you on the other side. Love this road. A matter of time. You come across a mob of camels. Geez, they're in good shape. last few years there's been so much rain that the mobs have gotten bigger and they're just so healthy looking. There's another one straight ahead there. See him? He's wondering what the oh, I think that might be the buck. He's not happy. Introduced back in the day. Oh, he's a big boy. Introduced back in the day to help open up the Outback. Introduced from Afghanistan. And then when they were no longer required because the road network and rail network improved, they were just let loose. Now they just roam the Outback. End of lesson. This is the Warburton Aboriginal community. Wouldn't mind $1 for every time I've been here. Also, it's 300 k's to Chukarelia. I'm only going to get enough fuel here to get me to Chukarelia. I'm not going to carry any more weight than I need to at the moment because I think the conditions are going to gradually get worse and worse. So I'll just get a few litres, enough to get me to Chuk. Maybe have a cup of coffee and then take it from there. Alright, I stuck 10 litres in. That plus what I had in the tank will be enough to get me to Chukarelia. Big shout out to Phil at the Warburton Roadhouse. Said he enjoys watching the channel. So that's great. Thanks for the coffee, Phil. You're a gentleman. Alright, about 3 hours to Chukarelia. Straight onto the dirt. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. That would rattle your teeth driving on this. Just for a sign that sort of grader ahead, so this could be the beginning of some of the road works. Alright, Chukarelia. I'm only once again getting enough fuel to see me through. I need fuel for 300 kilometres because the next stretch, the next 300, that's where all the damage has been done. It could be a bit tricky. I'll get a bite to eat and a cup of coffee. I'm only after 15 litres, mate.
15 litres.
Just enough to get me through to Laverton because I believe the next bit could be a bit chopped up and stuff. And I don't want to carry any more weight than I have to, if that makes any sense. Well, not long out of Chuk, and it's already started by the look of it. Well, as far as the sand's concerned, unless I haven't come to it yet, but you know, there has been some sand, but the sort of fun stuff, you know what I mean? So if two blokes have binned it only a few days ago that one needed to be flown out, my guess is it's all about not having the right technique. What you need to do is, if you can, go down a couple of gears. That way the engine will be a little bit more responsive. Stand up, because straight away that lowers your centre of gravity. Lean back, that means the front wheel will stay light, and apply constant power. You don't have to be accelerating, because shit, if you're on a 1200 and you're accelerating, by the time you get out of the sandpit you're doing 130 k's an hour, but just constant acceleration. And providing you do all those things, you should be okay. If you crash, then you are going to crash anyway. So you've got far greater success. Stand up, lean back, constant throttle. You know, you're just a passenger. Let the bike find its way. So for those two guys who got busted up, get well soon. I hope you make a complete recovery. And yeah, just first chance you get, practice your technique. Because some of that stuff back there was, yeah, fun. I guess not so much fun if you crash. I've got about, I don't know, 20 or 30 kilometres to go to get to this Giles Breakaway where I'll pull up for the night. Yeah, room with a view. I wonder if this bloke knows I'm there. Yep. He looked up. Okay. He's saying go through. Cheers, mate. Gonna be here for a while, I think, fellas. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's the last of the dirt on Great Central Road. Laverton's about, I don't know, 40 kilometres ahead. I'll be there tomorrow, maybe for breakfast. Yeah, this is Giles Breakaway. Hopefully there won't be anybody else there, hopefully. Yeah, there is somebody else here in their caravan. That's alright, there's heaps of room. And there's the view. Oh, there's somebody else over there through the bush as well. Like I said, heaps of room. They've got rubbish bins and a table. How civilised. I'll just go down here a bit. I'll find a spot. Told you I'd find a spot. Ground looks nice and soft. Perfect. I was thinking last night around the fire that that manager and his wife at Chukarelia, I mean, with that road closed, they would have had no through traffic at all. I'm wondering if if they be compensated by the government or whatever. Not sure how that would work. If you think you can shed some light, write a comment in the comment section below. Now, I think that that's the very first time I've ever said that. Try and find my way out of here, shouldn't be difficult. From here to Laverton, which is only, I don't know, 50 k's, all on blacktop, refuel, and then continue towards home. Probably be home tomorrow evening, I think. It's about 900 kilometres from here or something like that. So I'll split that over 2 days. So yeah, probably another bush camp tonight, not quite sure where. I'll figure it out. I usually do. Speedo ticked over 140,000 kilometres yesterday, and doing some sums. By the time I get home from this trip I would have done 12,000 kilometres. I sometimes joke to people because they say, geez, that's a lot of miles, and I sometimes joke with people that, you know, the bike's only been out of the shed a dozen times, but when I go for a ride, I really go for a ride. So yeah, 140,000 kilometres. Mostly adventure kilometres, so it's been a tough life for the old girl. It's due for some loving now. Got a couple of things to fix before the next trip, a couple of fork seals, and somehow I managed to break the rear brake fluid reservoir. Not quite sure how that happened. It's being propped up with a couple of cable ties at the moment. It'll get me home. The old Laverton Road. This road also was closed for many weeks after rain. Jeez. Yeah, it's a bit chopped up in places. And there's still a bit of water lying around. That used to be an old railway bridge. I don't know what the rail line was for, but yeah, it parallels this road. There's a lot of mining activity along here, all gold of course. It's a haul road through there. Oh, the top couple of layers has just been washed away. Oh, look out for the fence! Oh, oh no. This is Bullfinch. Not much left here anymore since the mine closed. I'm about 35 kilometres from Southern Cross. And that's behind me is the last of the gravel for this trip anyway. So yeah, I'll make my way to Southern Cross, get some fuel. It's mid-afternoon. I'm about 4 hours from Perth, but I'm not going to bother going home tonight. Not a big fan of riding in the dark, so I'll get some fuel and and find a place to bush camp along Great Eastern Highway somewhere. There's some good barn finds in amongst this lot, I reckon. If you were looking for a project. I'm not. But you get the idea. I think I'm about to be put in the bag again. I've blown in the bag more in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 2 years. Oh no. Well, this will do for a bush camp, right next to the Perth to Kalgoorlie water pipeline. I'm far enough off the road so that I won't hear any road noise. The track actually led into a main roads department blue metal dump. That's why the track existed. But anyway, yeah, the ground looks nice and comfortable as far as ground gets. And like I say, the important thing today was to get away from the highway. Alright, leaving the final bush camp for this trip. 12,000 kilometres over 5 weeks from Perth to Canberra to Coffs Harbour. I've got about a, I don't know, 4 or 5 hour transit now on the blacktop to get me home. And you wouldn't expect anything to go too far wrong from here, so look, I guess if this is the final approach, you know what that means. See you on the other side. Oh, black as 10 at Thargomindah in Outback Queensland. This one's for you, buddy.